Hello all. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about touch potential and step potential. In last lecture, we have discussed already what is the types of earthing, and suppose any equipment is not earth, then we can say that there is a possibility that you will get a current flowing through your body, and that we call or we say is as a shock. But what kind of potential or what kind of shock that is? So that generally know that that is a touch potential. Means whenever you come across with any equipment which is having some kind of, let's say, current flowing through it, then we get a shock, and that is nothing but a touch. Means whenever we are going to touch some particular thing, then it is going to have a touch potential. This thing generally people know, but many people don't know what is step potential. And even though if you are not belonging to electrical engineering or electrical aspects, still you need to aware or you need to understand what is step potential, because that may survive you or that may save your life in the case of failures. So let's discuss that in detail. So let's discuss in terms of electrical point of view. So everywhere we have already installed electrical systems, and a bunch of wires are transferred from one city to another city by with the help of this conductor and tower arrangement. Everywhere we are not able to provide that particular earthing thing. Means okay, at every tower we can provide the earthing, but it is not possible where the possibilities of falling of conductors are is is available. Means even we are having a 1 kilometer transmission line or span between two big towers is 1 kilometer, and suppose the conductor for breaks at some 100 meters, then we are having a 900 meter line or 900 meter a cable which is falling on the ground. So it will fall on the ground, and whatever current is falling on the ground will create a potential in that particular area at a certain distance, that I will disclose at the last point. That for that area, the area gets energized, and that's why we are interested to know what is step potential and touch potential. So if you directly touch that particular conductor by knowing that it is a grounded conductor and no current is flowing through it, then it can be treated as a touch potential. But if the area is energized and you don't know what is step potential, then that will harm you and you will lose your life if the line is having a kilovolt rating. So let's see what is this touch potential first, and what is then follow with the step potential. So this diagram clearly indicates what is touch potential and step potential. As I said, we are having a tower, and that tower is conducting a faulted line now, suppose. So the tower is not earthed properly, and now you are going to touch that particular tower, then obviously you will have a shock. So having a touch with that tower will lead to a touch potential or a shock, but by walking near to that tower also you can get a shock. So that is called as a step potential. So it actually creates a difference of voltage between your two legs. So if the distance of between two legs is more, then you will have a severe voltage or more voltage at the between the two legs. And if the distance between your two legs is less, then you will have a less potential. So it's better to walk slowly. Even I will not suggest to walk slowly. I will tell you at the last point how to survive in this kind of conditions. So let's discuss what is voltage gradient first. So suppose for step potential point of view, suppose the earth conductor or a conductor is falling on the earth, which is having some energy in it, current is flowing through the conductor, and now the conductor is falling on the ground. So how does ground behave? That it starts energizing. Of course it is having some resistance and it will allow the passage of current, and it will get energized into some area. And that area generally stands for 10 meters to 20, not 20, 10 meters to 15 meters from the point where it is falling. So this energization occurs in the circular fashion in terms of circular waves. So at very near to the that particular contact with the ground, conductor contact with the ground, the energization will be more, and as long as we go away from the conductor point, it will get lesser and lesser. So after maybe after 15 meters or 20 meters we can take as safety, So after 20 meters we cannot have any energization, and then you can walk freely. But what happens in this particular gradient, that voltage gradient stands for change in the voltage potential with respect to change in distance, or voltage change per change in the distance. Means what? If you are, we can say in terms of meter, from 1 meter to 2 meter you will have some change in the potential. Let's say we are having 10 kilovolt line. So at the center, 10 kilovolt line is falling on the conductor at where we are having a voltage source marked with the yellow color. So as soon as at the center of the point we are having 10 kilovolt, the first line will justify the potential difference after of 1 kilovolt. So maybe it will be 9 kilovolt. As long as we go away from the center of the point, it will go to 9, 5, 8 kilovolt, 5 kilovolt, 4 kilovolt, likewise up to 1 kilovolt and then 0. Okay, so how to tackle with this kind of things, that can be understood with this kind particular arrangement. What happens actually in this touch potential is that the body offers some resistance. Now this resistance offered by our body is less as compared to the grounding, so more current flows through our ground body and then we get a shock. So this is a touch potential. If I want to show you in terms of resistance, then see here, this is the path in which we are going to have a passage of color. Let me change the color. So this is the fall equipment which is having a current flowing through it. It is earth, and but current is the faulted current is flowing through the system. Now we are having a touch with this particular equipment at this particular point, and the body offers some resistance which is less, and hence more current flows through the body, and then it goes to the earth. So in this way we gets a touch potential or a shock through a touch. So this is called as a touch potential. But in terms of step potential, see, in step potential we actually offer a potential difference between two terms even though we are not in the contact with the body which is having a fault. So if the suppose this equipment is having a fault and the faulted current is flowing through the system in this way. Now as this is the faulted conductor, at this particular era we are having a center of connection. Now around this particular center we may have a energized gradient, potential gradient in this way. So we can see that the earth is energized in circular fashion. Means the 2 points of contacts between our legs is offering some potential to our body, and as we know current flows from higher potential to lower potential. Suppose this is a 10 kilovolt earth system, and your first leg is at let's say 8 kilovolt, and second leg is at let's say 6 kilovolt. So what will have, your small resistance offered by the legs will have higher amount of voltage potential, like 2 kilovolt potential. Means suppose the resistance offered by your legs or your body part of your leg is let's say how much, for example point of view 20 ohm, and we are having a 2 kilo 2 kilovolt potential difference. So obviously current will be 20 by 2 kilovolt by 20 ohms, so it will be in kiloamps. So that's why we neglect to have a step potential, that everyone don't know. Means what, how if you want to avoid a shock from step potential, then what you need to do is to make your legs very close to each other. Don't offer a step or don't offer the distance between two legs. And if you are having your feet on energized area, then jump over the surface. means try to go outside that particular area by jumping, not providing the steps between two legs. Okay, so whenever if any conductor is falling nearby your area and you are going near to that particular conductor, just for a curiosity point of view, then I will recommend you to not provide or not offer a step between your legs, a difference between your legs. Close your legs and jump and move forward and save your life. Thank you.